here you have your page sorter. There's your gallery, and I'm going to come back to that. This is where you're going to mostly work in. Adding attachments by inserting them. Properties. And then Sentio, which is smart response, which we're not going to have time for tonight. Those are the clicker systems. It's integrated into Smart Notebook now. It didn't used to be. All right, this is the lesson activity. The lesson activity toolkit is incorporated within it, but this is kind of the storehouse for all of the interactive tools that Smart Notebook uses. And one of the requirements on your rubric will be to incorporate 2 such elements into your lesson. Okay, you're going to be creating one of these lessons with a minimum of 10 pages, and you're going to want to go into the lesson activity toolkit. They have pictures. Just basic static pictures. They have interactive and multimedia. So, let's say, for instance, one of the ones that I like to do, one of the ones that's kind of fun, I like the vortex sort. So, let's say that I want to do like a classification. So, let's see. Vortex 1. Label mammals. Vortex 2 label reptiles. It's very simple. Turtle, where does it belong? It belongs in reptiles. Actually, this all by default was over here on reptiles, so I'll just keep them over here. Crocodile, camel, dog, cat, and one more. Okay? This is a very basic vortex sort. So a cat, is it a reptile? Oh, no, it's not. It's a mammal. Okay? These are all flash-based, and you're going to be required to put at least 2 of these into your Smart Notebook lesson. There are multiple choice features, keyword features, anagrams, category sorts. Obviously, for the sake of time, we don't have time to go through all of these. You have dice, but they're not just any old dice, like for example, image dice. You can drag that in, you can edit it by adding images to each side, and then you click it, and the dice spins around on the screen, and then whatever pops up, maybe let's say you're doing the 7 Wonders of the World, and whatever pops up, the student has to identify, okay, or equations, whatever, okay. So the lesson activity toolkit is full of multimedia files, and the lesson activity toolkit in and of itself could be 3 or 4 hour workshop, because there's just so much stuff in there that Smart has populated. All right, these are actual files and pages that have been created. There's a lot of crossover between that and the interactive and multimedia. A lot of key searches. The difference is that they have all the different colors, like so it shows up as a blue questionnaire, an orange questionnaire, and so forth. Checkerboards. But it's all flash-based, and you can you edit it quickly. Students work on it. You reset it. And I'm going to show you real quick before we move on to the next thing. I'm going to show you how to access already created files so that you don't kind of reinvent the wheel. Smart's done a really good job of connecting teachers across the world. Smart's actually created in Canada, which is where it originated. But let's see, Smart.
If we modify one of these already created, does that count? Because I've modified a Jeopardy game already.
Well, I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not really going to know whether you've modified it or not. But if you can find something and modify it, then more power to you. But at the same time, if it's going to impede your ability to learn the software, then I would encourage you not to do it. Because again, the purpose of this assignment is not just to get 10 points, it's to learn the software so that when you go out on your own and you can use it, and you do feel comfortable using it. Okay? All right, I don't know what a Smart Exchange is. Actually, it's right. Smart Exchange. Smart Exchange is a giant site filled with collaborative lesson plans. Plans that have been created by SMART themselves, plans that have been created by teachers all over the world. They've really upgraded this site in the last few years. So for instance, let's say I wanted to learn about, let's see, poetry. I can search by that, and then I can narrow it down. Let's say if I wanted a Smart Notebook lesson. But I want it only for grades 9 through 12. Search. I've got 85. Let's take a look at the first one. I can download it. It's 2.12 megabytes. But I can just click here and preview it. It'll open a preview window, and I can take a look. And again, this is something that you will be required for. You'll be required to create a title slide with lesson objectives. That looks like a flash-oriented. All right, so that looks interesting. Let's go ahead and download it and just see what this teacher did. I can just open it. I can save it, but I'm just going to open it and see how this teacher created their page. And this will give you some ideas by going on to the Smart Exchange. It will give you some ideas on how to create your lesson and orient everything. So probably what they did is they created a basic title slide with lesson objectives. Let's go through the pages. They have 2 pages of notes and objectives. You only need 1. These right here are called pull tabs. They are found within the lesson activity toolkit. Okay? So you kind of hide them out of the way so that students can have a guess, and then you can pull it out and say, well, this is what the real answer is. I was hoping that they would. Okay, here's a flash element. Okay. Language not meant to be literal includes similes, metaphors, and personification. Anybody? Let's give it a try. Okay. Refers to the emotion one feels when reading the poem. Emotional something. What the poem is literally about.